Welcome to our Wednesday devotional for Passion Week. Just a reminder of where we've been. Sunday was focused on the triumphal entry of Christ. Monday was about the challenge to man's self-will versus God by the cleansing of the temple. And Tuesday, we looked at the conflict between the religious leaders and Jesus because they had established their own authority contrary to what God had expected from them as his people. And all of those are good things for us to focus on and learn and apply in our own lives. Today is Wednesday, and from that account in the scriptures, a lot of people focus on the issue of Judas' betrayal, and that's part of today's, but I want us to think about it in terms of value, because in Matthew chapter 26, there are two people back to back, and it begins at verse 6. It says, "Now when Jesus was in Bethany in the home of Simon the leper, a woman came to him with an alabaster vial of very costly perfume, and she poured it upon his head, and as he reclined at the table. But the disciples were indignant when they saw this and said, 'What is the point of this waste? For the perfume might have been sold for a high price and the money given to the poor.' But Jesus, aware of this, said to them, 'Why do you bother the woman? For she has done a good deed for me. For the poor you will always have, but you do not always have me. For when she poured the perfume upon my body, she did it to prepare me for burial. Truly I say to you, wherever the gospel is preached in the whole world, what this woman has done shall also be spoken of in memory of her.'" Her value is on Christ. She made a sacrifice of something very, very valuable, so much so that it shocked other people. And her decision-making was questioned, and Jesus said, "You missed the point. She has a focus on giving to me, and she will always be remembered for that." Right after that, you get this. "Then one of the 12, named Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, 'What are you willing to give me to deliver him up to you?' And they weighed out to him 30 pieces of silver. And from then on, he began looking for a good opportunity to betray him." One looked for the opportunity to give, and the other was looking for an opportunity to receive, to get. He said, "What will you give me?" And they counted out for him 30 pieces of silver. The cost of betrayal, a number that has been memorized by everyone in Sunday school, exactly what Judas received. You're not the woman. You're not Judas. That was historical. But we make choices every day. What do we value? Is our focus to give to Jesus Christ? Or is our focus more, what will you give me? I think during this challenging time when there's so much concern about what happens next and what will things be like in the new reality, as people are calling it, certainly this Easter season of 2020 is not what anyone planned, is not what anyone saw coming, and yet here we are in the midst of the week. And I'm asking you the question, what do you value? Do you value giving to Jesus Christ? Or do you value, even from Christ, what will you give me? Christ has given us all. That's the answer to the question. For greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for another. Christ is the perfect example of that sacrifice. But in relationship to Christ, are you a giver, or are you looking for a payoff? Think about that today.